Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Ultra Confusion interview. This time we have R. Kyle Hanna. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a retired military officer. I served about 29 years and retired and started writing books and just living the good life.
So you have the what's the Time Assassin? What's the series called?
It's the Time Assassin series, and the first book is called, Time Assassins. How appropriate.
Yes.
And what I've done is I've taken historical events and I rewrote them a little bit, and then I send people back in time to fix it into what actually occurred.
Okay.
To me, it was a unique way of teaching history. A lot of people think it's kind of dry and boring. This puts you in the action. You're in Ford's Theater the night Lincoln gets shot. You're
Okay.
in the French countryside as the Montgolfier brothers fly their hot air balloon. Those kind of things.
So you say that in this series you have your characters that are going back in time to like correct it so it's how it is now. So is there some other force at hand that's screwing things up that they have to come back and fix it, or?
Well, the futuristic guild that has the time travel, they have this vast library. Basically, they catalog all the different timelines that they've influenced.
Okay.
And whatever benefits them, which just happens to be our particular history.
Right.
That's usually what they go with.
So you have how many books out right now for this series?
3 books, and I cut it at 3.
Okay. So how long have you worked on this series in total?
I published the first one in 12. It took me, on average, about 2 years per book. That includes 6 to 8 months of research, and then editing and writing it, and then my editor spent another 3 or 4 months going back and researching my research.
So, not having read the series and not knowing all the different events that you have that are going to be influenced, if you could go back and change or add an additional something in history, what would it be that unfortunately didn't make your book?
Well, there was a chapter on Princess Anastasia in Russia. I took out. There was a couple of other ideas I had. Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay.
Somewhere between the second and third book, I got into these. Well, who disappeared? What could I do with that? And I actually put the D.B. Cooper story. He's in book 2.
Okay.
Amelia Earhart's in book 3. So I did do a little bit of that, but there was some events that I just I got to the point where I didn't want to do the research on it, or it just didn't make the final cut.
I got you. So I see that you have more than just your Time Assassins series. So what else do you have?
My first book is called To Aid and Protect. I wrote it while I was deployed into Afghanistan.
Okay.
It's a military sci-fi, and I usually market it toward a younger reader. Adults like it too, but when I see a 10 or 12-year-old boy, I always ask them, do you like spaceships, aliens, explosions, computers that take over the world?
Right.
This is the book for you.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
And then I also have, this is something that I just wanted to do. It's a collection of short stories from my military career, and it's just a bunch of humorous anecdotes. Everything in there actually happened. It's, I won't say documented because there's no way to document those kind of events.
Yep.
But everything in there actually happened. I just changed the names to protect the guilty.
Oh, sounds like a plan. So where could people find out more information about all your books?
The one place to go to find out just information would be my website, www.rkylehanna.com. They're all available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, stuff like that.
So is it available just in physical copy, or is there also e-reader?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Good. So my follow-up question is, were you like a history buff? Is that why you wanted to do this, or is it just something that interests you and you want to dive deeper into it?
I've always liked history. The real catalyst for this series was I was talking with some college-age men and women,
Mm-hmm.
and realized they're not getting a lot of history out of their studies.
Right, right.
And a lot of the time it is because, this guy did this at
Mhm.
this time, and it's
Mhm.
very boring, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. So I came up with a unique way of teaching some history.
Mm-hmm. So if you had the chance to talk to someone who wants to become an author, what advice or words of wisdom would you bestow upon them?
Uh, if you want to be a writer, write.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, even if it's 30 minutes a day, take a pen and paper or put your fingers on a keyboard
Mm-hmm.
and write something. The only way to get better is to do it. Uh, write out your story and then go back and do your editing.
Mhm.
I've done several short stories here lately, and before I even edit it, I had some beta readers come through and they did some of the editing for me, some of
Right.
the misspelled words and whatnot.
Right, right.
But if you want to be a writer, write. Read the genre that you want to write in, and then write.
Mhm. So, final question, and this is kind of some might think it's a weird one, but what is the medium that you use when you're first writing your stories? Is it you're doing it on a computer, you're doing it by hand, typewriter, telepathy? I don't.
Well, telepathy
Would be great. I know.
Yeah. Actually, to Aid and Protect
Mhm.
and Assassin's Gambit,
Mm-hmm.
I actually hand wrote those.
Okay. Cool.
For the first, and then
Wow.
for the others, I typed. So I alternate. It just depends on where I'm at and what I have around me.
Mhm.
For the last year, I wrote another story that's not published yet,
Mhm.
but I did it on the computer and then printed it out, did the editing, and then those kind of things.
Okay.
So
All right. Cool. Well, thank you for taking time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Once again, our Kyle Hanna and his Time Assassin series. You could get it basically, I'm assuming, like Amazon and
Amazon, Barnes
Barnes
and
and
Noble, Books A Million, or if you want an autographed copy, go to my website, send me an email, and we'll work it out through PayPal.
and the website one more time.
www.rkylehanna.com.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.